Have you seen that channel Speak English with Class? They have gained over 600,000 subscribers and 15 million views in just 1 year.
Wait, 600,000? Teaching English?
Yep. Just simple, structured lessons. And here's the wild part. It's literally two voices talking, a podcast-style conversation.
No way. You're telling me their setup looks like what we're doing right now, and it's pulling millions of views?
Exactly. Every video is made with AI, scripts, voices, visuals, all of it. Proof that sometimes simple storytelling beats overproduction.
That's wild. Imagine turning your lessons into a full AI-powered YouTube business. All right, now I'm curious. How do you even start something like that? Because if a faceless channel can pull 15 million views teaching grammar, we're clearly in the wrong niche.
Exactly. So instead of guessing, let's bring in someone who actually knows.
Yeah, Zinni's in the studio today to show us exactly how these channels are built.
Over to you, Zinni.
Before we jump into tools, let's start with what makes this format special. Unlike traditional YouTube tutorials, podcast-style channels rely on conversation. That means instead of one narrator reading a script, you'll have two AI voices talking naturally, like a teacher and a curious student. This makes the content feel friendly, effortless, and human. When choosing your topic, pick something you could teach or explain conversationally. I would recommend having proper knowledge of how the English language works or any other language you want to teach. The key is to make it sound like a discussion, not a lecture. Once you've chosen your topic, decide your episode format. Short lessons, 2 to 5 minutes each, work great for consistency. Long-form lessons, 10 plus minutes, work better for retention and monetization. Keep your first few videos short. It's easier to learn and test your workflow. Now that your topic and structure are clear, the next step is the script. This is where the magic begins. Instead of writing the script manually, we'll use ChatGPT to generate your conversational dialogue. Here's the exact framework you can use. Topic, example, common English phrases people misuse. Roles, teacher and student. Tone, friendly, podcast style. Goal, help the audience learn through conversation. Here's a sample prompt you can use in ChatGPT. You're a YouTube scriptwriter for an AI podcast style teaching channel. Write a conversation between two friends titled, How Manchester United Lost a Football Match Today. Keep it short, under 900 words, natural and easy to follow. Use humor and curiosity to keep it engaging. End with a quick recap and call to action. Once you open ChatGPT, paste in the prompt and run. ChatGPT will generate a full dialogue between two people. Read through it and make your own adjustments based on your English knowledge or the tone you want your channel to have. After you've edited your script to sound natural and conversational, the next step is to generate your images. From the reference channels we've been studying, you'll notice they usually feature two avatars sitting still while the conversation plays. When you look at their videos, you'll see exactly that. Two static characters positioned side by side with text appearing on the screen showing what each person is saying. There's also a bit of sound design to make it feel alive, but the visuals stay very simple. To create this, I'll be using Design AI. Once you're inside Design AI, create a new project and select Text to Image. Then type in your prompt. Select the image model Seedream 4.0. I find it to have very high quality animation images. I'll leave this exact prompt in the description so you can copy it and follow along. In this case, my prompt describes two characters sitting in a podcast studio with a screen between them. I also added details about their look, the lighting, and how they are positioned. After entering your prompt, choose 4K resolution and select 16:9 aspect ratio since this is for YouTube. Then click Generate. Once it's ready, you'll see your image appear. Here's one I generated earlier. Notice how it follows the same concept as the reference channels, but with my own twist. While most of those channels use 2D animation, I decided to go with 3D for a more polished look. Instead of leaving a blank black space for subtitles, I added a screen between the two characters where I can display the text. When you're recreating a format like this, it's important to add your own touch so your channel stands out. Alright, once your image is ready, the next step is to generate your voiceover. For this, I'll show you two different methods. The first method is using 11 Labs. Inside 11 Labs, click on Studio, then New Blank Project and select Audio Project. It'll open up a new workspace. Now copy the interactions that ChatGPT generated for you, the dialogue between your two speakers, and paste it directly into 11 Labs. When you paste your script into 11 Labs, you'll see each line labeled by speaker, for example, host 1 and host 2. Go ahead and delete the host labels to keep it clean, then assign a voice to each person. For instance, I'll start with the lady, so I'll select Amelia's voice for her. Then for the second speaker, I'll search for Mark and assign his voice. You'll notice now the first line is spoken by Amelia and the next by Mark. Do the same throughout the entire dialogue, assigning the right voice to each speaker. This makes the conversation feel natural, just like a real podcast with back and forth dialogue between two people. Once you've assigned all the lines, click Export. You can export it as a single audio file or as a paragraph zip IP folder. Personally, I prefer exporting as a paragraph zip folder because it separates the voices by paragraph, so it is easy to separate the lady and the male voices. Then click Export again, and 11 Labs will start processing your audio. When it's done, click Download to save it to your computer. If you exported it as one file and want to separate the voices later, you can do that easily in CapCut. Let me show you how to do that. Inside CapCut, import your audio files, whether you exported them individually or as one combined file. Once imported, drag them into the timeline. In my setup, the lower track is the female voice and the upper track is the male voice. You can now adjust or export them individually if you need to. Once that's done, we'll move back to Design AI because that's where we'll handle the lip syncing process for our characters. Now, the reference channel we looked at earlier doesn't animate their characters, and you don't have to either. You can keep your visuals static and it'll still work perfectly fine. But like I mentioned before, if you want your channel to stand out, adding subtle animation really helps. To animate, select your image inside Design AI. Under Layers, make sure the correct image is selected. Then click on Lip Sync and choose Pro mode. That gives you the highest quality. Next, click Pick Face. Once you select the image, choose the face you want to animate. Since I want the lady to speak first, I'll select her face before the guy's and then click Next. You'll now see two options. Go ahead and click Pick Voice. Now here's the second option for voiceover. If you don't want to use 11 Labs, you can use the native voice feature inside Design AI. Simply preview a few voices, pick the one you like, and type the dialogue you want it to say. But since we already generated our own voiceover earlier, we'll use the upload audio option instead. Before now, you could only lip sync up to 30 seconds. Now, Design AI allows you to lip sync for up to 5 minutes, which is incredible. If your video is longer, you can simply repeat the process for the next segment. Click Select Audio or just drag and drop your file into the timeline. I've already dragged in one of my audio clips. It automatically places it into the sequence. Do the same for the male voice as well. Now, because this is a conversation, make sure the voices are placed in the correct order. The lady speaks first, then the guy replies, then back to the lady, and so on. Listen through the audio to confirm everything sounds right, then click Generate. Design will start processing your video. Because the audio is longer than 30 seconds, it might take around 3 to 5 minutes to render. When it's done, your video will appear right here in the preview section. Double-click it to play, you'll see the characters talking back and forth. It looks really good. Now we're going to download this video so we can add auto captions, just like we saw on the reference channels. Once you've downloaded your lip-synced video, open CapCut. That's the tool we'll use for this step. Drag your video into the timeline. Next, let's generate captions. Go to Captions, select Auto Caption, and choose your language, in this case, English. Then click Generate. CapCut will automatically create captions for you and place them above the video. Once your captions appear, it's time to style them. I've already adjusted mine to fit inside the TV screen, but let me show you how. First, select all your captions so they're highlighted. On the right panel, you'll see your text settings. Change the font to Montserrat. It's clean and readable. Then reduce the font size so the text sits neatly within the screen area. To make the captions feel more dynamic, go to Animation. You'll see options like In, Out, Loop, and Caption. Under Caption, scroll through and test different styles. Pick the one that feels most natural for your video. I found one that worked perfectly and applied it to all my captions. Now, when the characters talk, the text appears right on the screen, synced with the dialogue. It feels cinematic and engaging compared to the static look of other channels. Both styles work, but this one definitely draws more attention. Once your captions are done, click Export. Choose your preferred resolution. I usually go with 4K, but 1080p or 2K also works fine. Pick your export location, then hit Export again. That's it. Your full AI podcast style video is complete. The complete workflow for creating your own AI-powered English podcast style channel. From script writing to AI voices, visuals, editing, and monetization, all without showing your face. If you found this helpful, hit that like button so more creators can see it. Subscribe for more step-by-step tutorials on building faceless YouTube channels with AI.